Hey, this is Billy D. We're getting ready to go out to Eastern Oregon, talk to Chris Kemp. You'll notice that the video of the interview is a bit darker than you would like. We made a mistake. We recorded it in front of a window and it kind of washed out the video, but we were able to fix it as best we could. But I apologize that it is just a bit dark. One side note, it's really not my fault. If CT would have been with me, we'd have never made that mistake. But, I was freelancing and I didn't have my cinema expert. You're going to enjoy the show. This is Billy D. Take a listen. Let's get back in the car. Put that seatbelt on. We're going to head out to LeGrand, Oregon. Visit Chris Kemp. He's the head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon Mounties. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Hey, today we're heading out to Eastern Oregon. They're out in LeGrand, Oregon, just up the freeway from College of Idaho. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from College of Idaho back up to LeGrand. LeGrand is a small town right on I-84. It's about maybe an hour east of Pendleton. You can see it right there on the map. Kind of secluded, but it's definitely right on the freeway, which helps. A beautiful campus. I've been there many times. Always enjoy my visits there. Eastern Oregon is part of the Oregon State higher education system. It's a really well-kept campus. The facilities are nice there. They have quite an investment there in LeGrand. This is their new field house. They just built this huge investment they just made. Look inside here. This thing is huge. This is something a lot of colleges and universities are either in the process of fundraising for or have fundraised for. This is becoming more and more expected by student athletes in today's college programs. This is their gym. I love going to ball games here. This is a wild gym, always competitive. I don't care what the records are. When you walk into that gym in LeGrand, you're going to have a basketball game. It's a lot of fun going there. This is a quad on campus. Kind of neat. But anyway, Eastern Oregon always has a tough basketball program. They were down a little bit. We'll talk to Coach Kemp about that. But I'll guarantee you one thing. Everybody in the Cascade Conference knows when you go out to EOU, you've got a basketball game coming. Let's listen to Chris Kemp. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Sitting here in the gym lobby at Eastern Oregon, Chris Kemp, head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon Mounties. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming out.
It's almost basketball season. When does school start here?
Not till September 23rd.
You got a month yet?
Yeah, we're chomping at the bit, but we'll get everyone reported here day after Labor Day, September 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll bring them in a couple weeks early.
Let's get this out of the way. I know you don't want to talk about it. Last year, I talked to you before we started, but in my opinion, you guys were a snake bit. It felt like you were a snake bit from afar. And I thought that Arizona Christian game kind of took some confidence away from your team. You've had 6 months or 7 months, whatever, to look back at last season. You lost so many close games. But what is your debrief now that you've had some time to think about last season?
Yeah, that game hurt for sure. Not side note is that that's my alma mater, so beating them is kind of a big one. So that one was not a great loss, but yeah, I think it did feel like we just could never kind of get our footing. Our schedule was super tough.
Yeah,
but,
you did. You had a tough one.
I set it up that way, and we didn't quite perform like we needed to. So I put a lot of it on me. I want to do a better job this year of trying to give the guys some clarity on roles and what that looks like end of game. And we just didn't perform, whether we coached it or not. We didn't get the results, and it's a results driven business. And we didn't do a very good job of that.
You're going to start off the season with a bang. You've got Florida College coming. You're expecting to see your friend Chase Teichman, who's now over. He's a Georgia Gwinnett Grizzly now. Really great opportunity for him. That's pretty cool, though. You're pretty good friends with Chase, aren't you?
We are. So it's a great job for him. That's awesome. And then the guy who took over, Jesse Ripe, was an assistant with me 1 year here at Eastern. So we're pretty close too. So we don't actually play them till December, mid-December. So we don't start with them, but
you're going to play them right in the middle of the conference season.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
So kind of that week off, because we have that week off for finals. We don't have finals nowadays, so we play them. We play College of Idaho here on Saturday, and we play them on Monday. So,
easy week.
Yeah, I really set that up well.
So but that'll be nice because you'll be able to get one of because people don't know, College of Idaho is we call them the traveling partner. Mm-hmm. That's who you travel with because you guys are the closest together. It'll be nice to have that game in hand because you won't always be looking down saying, oh, we still got 2 with College of Idaho. You'll have 1 done. Yeah,
but we also, I think our first 4 conference games are Oregon Tech, Southern Oregon, College of Idaho, LC State. So that's the best of the best.
I know that I said the same thing to Colby. I know Austin lost some guys this season, but man, that is a program you can never count out, ever. LC State.
Yep, he's a great coach, and my track record against them is not great. We don't need to get into all that, but they're very good.
That's a tough trip up there. I was telling you, I know that in Austin, I know I haven't been there. That is just a brutal trip up there, and I do it once a year. But it's a long drive up there.
Yeah, it's not too bad for us though.
It's almost a home game for you guys. So you and I were talking. I think you've got two seniors returning. I know Garrett Hawks is returning, and who else is returning?
Yep, and then Brennan Newsom is the center from LC State. Actually transferred. He's a grad transfer. Who played for us last year, and then Malachi Afwork from Federal Way, Washington. Those 2 are returning seniors. So we hope they can. And Malachi was hurt most of last
really
year.
Make a difference for you guys. Yeah. He's tough.
Yep. So we're excited to have him back. He's one of those COVID 5th, 6th year guys, whatever it is. Yeah. So
they're all 27. I can't. Yeah. I mean, but this is the last year.
Yep.
This is it. From now. Next year, we'll be able to look and say, oh, he was a senior on last year's roster. He's not coming back. Now it's a crapshoot. So anyway, hey, good for these guys because truly in Oregon, they lost that season. Not only did the guys couldn't play, they couldn't work out, they couldn't do the weight room, they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, so it was a tough deal. And Malachi was actually at Carroll for that COVID year.
Oh,
we got him another guy that we had gotten from Carroll, but this will be his 3rd year here. But yeah, just I think all the other guys that were here for COVID are all now gone, and it's all guys we've.
I interviewed Malachi one time. You guys got a big win in Danny Miles Court, and I'm pretty sure he was one of the guys I interviewed. Yeah.
Yep, it was.
So you've signed 7 guys. You and I talked about a little bit before we started, but it's a mixture of high school and some transfers. Just talk about the class you have coming in.
Yeah, I think we're excited just about the type of guys that we got, good students. We got Trent Rogers is a transfer from Carroll that is from Bozeman, but a player we got to watch in high school. We think will be able to come in and play right away. TJ Doman is a 5th-year senior from Alaska Fairbanks, and he's an Oregon kid, so he's from Woodburn, and then played at Clackamas, was pretty good there.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then with the coaching change they had at Fairbanks, he was able to come here. So those 2, and then James Bodley, an Idaho State transfer. He's only a sophomore, but I think can really shoot it. He's a small town Idaho kid, kind of type of kids that really work well here. We partnered with old EOU alum Coach Looney helped us get
Mhm.
him here. So he still has 3 years to play. We think he'll be able to really shoot it and hopefully score it for us. And a couple freshmen we're excited about, a 6'9" kid, Luke Allison from Gig Harbor, Washington, that's, just excited to build, comes from a great family and wanted to be at a 4-year school. Another Oregon kid, his dad's an alumni. He's from Philomath, was a good 4A player outside of Corvallis there.
Yeah.
And Preston Kramer. So I think we have, like you said, kind of a good mix of transfers, some NAI experience, a D2 guy, those 2 freshmen, and
You usually try to mix in a few transfers, don't you? Seems like every year, after some experience and strength, there's a big difference between a guy who's played a couple of years of JC ball and a guy at a high school.
yeah. So I think that's where we're at our best, is finding that mix, still building with some program guys that hopefully we can keep around for 4 years, and then some junior college guys. Like you said, Garrett Hawks coming back was our best player last year, and he'll only be a junior. We got him after 1 year at CSI.
Let's talk about Garrett for a moment. He kind of surprised the whole conference last year. I mean, he's an amazing offensive player.
Yeah, I think he's just perfect at this level. He's just kind of a matchup problem. He just competes, but he has, he's an older guy. He went on a mission. He's got a kid. He's married. So we love guys like that. So just a great leader. We couldn't be more excited to have him for a couple more years.
He's coming in as a junior this year? Oh, yeah. Wow.
But he, again, is...
So everybody every coach in the Cascade Conference just grabbed their head. They got to deal with Garrett Hawks for 2 more years, 2 more seasons.
Yeah. So he really has put in a lot of work this summer. So I hope he can kind of take that next step and find that real consistency.
You were talking about recruiting. I kind of like the drive out here. I was born in Eastern Oregon, but when you're recruiting a Metro guy, and you say you're from Eastern Oregon, a lot of people, if you just say Eastern Oregon, they conjure up that drive from Bend to Burns, and they probably think there's absolutely nothing here. Is that an uphill climb for you when you're going after, I call them Metro guys, city guys?
Yeah, for sure. I think that we many times have a lot more success with if we go into Boise or go some small town Idaho, small town Oregon. And we want to mix. And honestly, we kind of say, like, if we can get them to campus, they have a little different feel. And sometimes I think it may be, if we can get them here, the bar is a lot lower because they expected it to be a Circle K and some, some dust or something. But it's true.
I've been to a couple schools like that. I'm not going to say where they were.
Yeah. So
we're going to put, just so everybody knows, you watch on this video, you're going to see some video of the campus and of the facilities here, but it is just a beautiful campus. It's just surrounded by mountains. It's very, very pretty.
It is, and we're fortunate that way. And it's just not that easy to get to from a lot of places, but it's really a beautiful campus. We have it really nice.
One thing about Eastern Oregon always, my whole life has been, you come out here, the fans are going to be loud, rabid, whatever word you want to use. They always had a tremendous fan base here. What do you attribute that to? And it's for years.
Yeah.
I'm an old guy.
Yeah, I think it's sustained success with a lot of the former coaches that we've had and great community support. A lot of those probably feel pretty similar to that Klamath Falls area. And if you want to talk home court, I think we could talk about OIT a lot. So, we have great students here, great having football and kind of that, 500 athletes on campus that all know kind of what we're all going through. We support each other well. And if you're winning, the community really supports well and comes out. I couldn't, I love raising my family here, and I hope to be here for a long time.
Yeah, it's a nice place. I told you when I pulled up, they were over practicing. Where I parked my car, I realized they were practicing field goals. I moved the car. But having football on campus, does that help bring guys here?
It does. And we like to, set up some visits on football days because we create a good atmosphere, a whole tailgate area. And we like to tailgate with the team. I'll bring my barbecue out. And so we actually like that setup and getting guys here for football games.
Because it's not, I know we got to do that too, but it's not just the students are amazing, but LeGrand, I mean, the fans here, the town really supports your program as well.
Yeah, yep, they do. It's awesome. We, like I said,
What do you guys do to keep a good relationship in town? And
we're out in the community a lot. If you're looking at, like I said, 500 athletes, and we require every athlete to have 20 hours community service.
oh, okay.
And so we try to really, for us, and all I can speak for is basketball. We try to base that around basketball. We try to get in the schools and do skill development stuff. And we're running a youth academy every Tuesday night in September when the guys get here. And so that's where I've made the most relationships. And that's where I start to see people at games and getting some of the youth teams to play at halftime. And so that's kind of my strategy, is to just bring value to the community with basketball and hope they want to come back and support us. And it's been great.
In a town like, LeGrand or Klamath Falls or Caldwell, even Ashland, you get the 6th, 7th, 8th graders. I mean, the guys playing on that court those are like NBA guys to them.
Yeah.
know?
Especially the young guys. They love coming out, and we'll do some kids come for free days. I remember last year OIT did that and filled the place up with all the kids.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
Kind of a cool atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna take some video of the gym, but we talked about your fans. But this facility, I don't know when they upgraded it and built the up area above and everything, but just talk about the gym and the facility you get to play in.
Yeah, it's great. I'm glad that it was done and I didn't have to fundraise for when I got here. But we love it. It's a shooter's gym. Our biggest goal, we got to make sure some other people don't make so many shots, or when they come here too. But it's a great atmosphere. It's kind of the perfect size for us, and to create still some feel of a home court. And that's a big goal of ours, like everyone, but to protect our home court. And so our facilities are as nice as any we go to, and so we love it.
You have one of the coolest traditions here. I see College of Idaho's doing the same thing now, is that it's just a giant flag that comes down from the rafters. I'm just imagine a gigantic screen, right? And it lowers down, and then there's the national anthem, and then everybody stays standing while it raises. And this is a huge flag. It's a really cool tradition that you have, right? That started before you got here, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure when it started, but it is cool. I think it's that perfect. You don't have to worry about where you're putting in the gym, and you can kind of put it away when you're done, but creates that atmosphere and everyone to have that moment of silence before the game starts. I love that.
So you're going into your 4th season. You've had some ups and downs. Last year had to be still just burn at you. Just talk about your time here, and what would success, first off, two things. I won't hold you in suspense. Talk about your time at Eastern and what it's been like to be here in LeGrand. And then for this season, for you, what will success look like?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've been here now 7 years, 4 as the assistant, and now, I finished my 3rd as the head coach, going into my 8th year. I think, like I said, but I've loved it. Just the opportunity that I got from the athletic director, Angie Weisenflew, and just the relationship we have as we work together, it's great. So I hope we can keep building. I think success for us, 2 years ago when we got second to College of Idaho in the conference and went to the national tournament, was a huge step forward. So it felt like we took kind of a step back this last year. So I think winning some games in the national tournament would be successful for us. And how far that goes, I don't know. But I'm just excited because I think I learned a lot and still feel like I have a ton to learn. But I think we got the best group we've had so far in my 3 years of just my type of guys and just workers, the right type of people, and no outliers. And so I hope we can build that into a winning product. We couldn't do it very well last year, but but hoping we can take that next, can I get back to where we were 2 years ago?
Just a couple more questions and I'll turn you loose. You mentioned Angie. She's just a rock star, isn't she? As an athletic director.
Yeah. I don't know how she kind of does everything that she does, essentially working 2 full-time jobs and around 600 wins now or something. But it's great. Just the relationship we have, the relationship, our teams really support each other. And when you're going out to those terrible trips, as you talk about, like we say, Klamath Falls and Ashland,
well, Klamath Falls is a good trip.
Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about. I mean,
I got my own seat there and everything.
Yeah, I think you probably love it. But just how our teams support each other, and we truly pull for the women's team.
Yeah.
And,
great program.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're
man.
always up there. And so we're building to get where they are, them and our volleyball and some of those. So that's the goal. And so we have that blueprint, and now we got to just kind of get to work and get, see what we can do.
You talked about learning. So coming out of last season, what were 1 or 2 things where you say that can't happen again, or this must always happen? There has to be something where you walked away and you learned something.
Yeah. Well, how long do you have? I go for half hour. No, I think whether, our situational basketball was not good. And I just don't think our team ever was able to establish our identity. So that's what we want to do early, not just say who we are or coach, have the right coach speak, but actually enforce that identity every day and what that looks like and how we practice and how we drill it and how detailed we are. We need to have an identity. And I don't know if our team last year was able to ever to establish that and have that to fall back on in those tough moments. And, who knows if I'm right, but I think that's where we lost a lot of close games and that's maybe where we struggled in situational basketball. We didn't necessarily have an identity to fall back on in those moments.
I think, and this is coming from a guy who knows nothing, but just as a fan, it seems to me the difference between good teams and great teams is how they respond to a run.
Yep. That makes sense.
I always watch that when teams come back to the huddle, or how they, if they get like an 8-point run on them or something, and how some teams just understand that's a run and we'll get it back, and then some teams will fold. So I don't know how you make the other one or the other happen, but sometimes the other team is just so good they crush you, right?
Yeah, you hope that doesn't happen.
Well, Chris, I really appreciate you giving me the time and being a gracious host out here. And thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for making the drive, and thank you for all you do for NAI basketball.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That means more to me than you'll ever know. This is Chris Kemp. He's the head men's basketball coach at Eastern Oregon. They're the Mounties, by the way. They're actually technically the Mountaineers, but everybody calls them the Mounties.
Either way.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
I want to say a special thank you to Coach Chris Kemp and to Eastern Oregon for inviting me up to their campus to let me tour with them. And Chris was a very gracious host. Thank you, Coach Kemp. And I know the next time I'm there, you're going to pack that gym. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, please like and subscribe this show wherever you watch or listen to it. It helps a lot. And if you have a question you'd like answered on the show, just send me a note at cascadehoopstalk@gmail.com or just shoot me a DM on Twitter. Hope you enjoyed the show. Enjoy your day. We'll see you next time. Yours truly, Billy D. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAI school, because NAI basketball is the best entertainment value in America.